on that breeze, that southwesterly breeze, but it is mild at 12 to 14 degrees Celsius for the day ahead. For Northern Ireland, also getting off to a rather cloudy and damp start, but it should be brightening up. Already starting to see a few holes in the cloud towards the north and west, and that brightening process will continue with a few showers. But always waiting in the wings for more rain from the north and west. Temperatures about 11 today. And to Scotland, where again we have a lot of cloud first thing this morning and some drizzly rain to clear out of the way. But once that rain does clear out of the way, as we go into the afternoon, should be some brighter skies coming through, a little bit of sunshine as well, just the odd shower. But the wind will strengthen later to bring more rain to the north and the west of Scotland. And temperatures around about 10 degrees Celsius, but it will get wetter overnight for many.
Helen, thank you very much. This afternoon, Radio 4 begins the journey of discovery.
Stories like this bring places to life.
Throughout the British Isles,
I don't mind seeing another Star Wars series and fourth
malevolent
Star Wars
water
series.
beasts. Black dogs in folklore are one of the enduring folkloric archetypes.
I'm on a quest to discover what they tell us about our history, our world and ourselves.
Dragons have always been used to represent the forces of the world that we cannot control.
Mythical Creatures, a new 10-part series with me, Rhianna Pratchett, on Radio 4 and BBC Sounds, every afternoon this week, starting this afternoon at 1:40.
Dragon in the Bible represents Satan, doesn't it? Satan the devil. Slight headache. Whoa! That was close. That was close. Why do you need white, man? Let's go forward a bit. Ah, damn. I wish I brought my drone with me. Could have done some shooting over Small Heath Park, but it's raining, so it's not worth the risk. Didn't see a bit.
Attacks on the Jabalia refugee camp are said to have killed 19 people, according to local health officials. Israel says it goes to great lengths to avoid hitting civilians. And the state killing 3 of its own hostages carrying a white flag on Friday, added to international and domestic pressure for another ceasefire deal.
Yeah, I should have been looking there.
20 others still believed to be held captive in Gaza. Israel is also expected to face pressure to scale back its major combat operations.
whose sister is among those in the church, told us she feared for her life.
When she said the situation was very difficult, she was witnessing the killing of the two people, the two women in the church. She's like, we are hiding. They were actually on the ground, hiding, not moving, because they believed the Israelis were shooting anything that moves. So I think they were on the ground for a couple of hours before they were able to just stand up.
Writing in the Telegraph, the former Defence Secretary Ben Wallace has warned Israel that it risks fueling the conflict with its actions in Gaza. Our political correspondent Ian Watson has more.
Warning from the former Defence Secretary is stark that Israel's tactics in Gaza are counterproductive and at the risk of radicalising Muslim youth across the globe. This, in turn, he suggests, could fuel the conflict
turning right or going straight?
for another 50 years. Ben Wallace thinks it clear
Well.
he isn't backing demands for an immediate ceasefire, but he is calling for an end to what he describes as crude and indiscriminate attacks. He accuses Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of missing the heart attacks in October, and says there's a killing rage now, not rectify matters. This follows an article
Caught right in the-
in which the Foreign Secretary
right
Lord
in the
Cameron
rush hour.
called for further pauses in the conflict.
A lot of people going to work.
Sunak said last week that he told Mr.
You're right.
Netanyahu that too many people had already lost their lives. The Israeli embassy has been contacted for comment.
The trial has begun in Hong Kong of the prominent pro-democracy campaigner Jimmy Lai. He's been accused of undermining the territory's national security on social media and in articles published in his Apple Daily newspaper, which was closed down 2 years ago. The UK Foreign Secretary
A night watch in
urged the
action
authorities
again.
to release him.
It's the Ministry of Peace.
Jimmy Lai's son, Sebastian, told us the UK needed to maintain the pressure on China.
Raise my father's case, and whenever they have a interaction with China, and just keep supporting my father, the values that he stood for and that he jumped, which is the free press and peaceful campaigning for democracy.
The government is expected to announce that it's planning to provisionally increase its funding for local councils in England by 6.5% next year. The final figure will be agreed by the Treasury in early 2024. Councils have been warning that they face significant pressures on their budgets. Government grants are an important source of money for local authorities, along with council tax and business rates. Here's our political correspondent, David Grammaticus.
Across England, local councils are struggling to fund the services they're legally obliged to provide. This year alone, 3, Birmingham, Nottingham and Woking, have issued official notices signalling their inability to balance their books. Rising wage bills and
How did
increased
this
demand
come
for
about?
special educational needs and social care are all factors. The BBC understands the government will announce a provisional 6.5% increase in council funding for next year. Many councils have told the
Damn,
government
look at sunrise, man.
that they could face severe financial distress.
Look at that sunrise.
Secretary Michael Gove told
Wow.
the Commons Committee that in future, even councils that were well managed could face particularly acute pressures.
Overseas staff in a care home near Newcastle on Tyne have told the BBC they feel exploited and trapped by the firm that brought them to the UK to work. An undercover investigation into Addison Court also saw low staffing levels, which health professionals said were putting vulnerable residents at risk. The company which runs it, Prestwood Care, denied any suggestion of systematic bad practice. Here's our social affairs editor, Alison Holt.
An undercover BBC Panorama reporter was sent into Addison Court Residential and Nursing Home in Wrighton near Newcastle after concerns from local health professionals
Look at that
low
sunrise.
staffing levels could be leading
That's
to more
good.
falls and unexplained bruises and injuries. The secret filming shows a nurse from India saying she feels overwhelmed but can't leave because the company sponsored her work visa. Contracts seen by the BBC show overseas staff were told if they quit, they'd have to pay thousands to cover its costs. Prestwick Care's license to recruit abroad has since been revoked. It says the safety and well-being of its residents and staff is paramount.
And you can watch Panorama's Care Workers Under Pressure on BBC iPlayer now or on BBC One at 7 p.m. this evening. North Korea has launched another intercontinental ballistic missile over the sea of Japan. It's the fifth long-range test carried out by Pyongyang this year. Japan said the latest missile was capable of reaching anywhere in the United States and flew for more than an hour and 10 minutes before crashing into the sea. Ukrainian officials have launched a criminal investigation after a listening device was found in offices that were being set up for possible use by the country's commander-in-chief. Security services say the device didn't appear to be operable. From Kiev, Jessica Parker reports.
Valery Zaluzhny is the commander-in-chief of Ukraine's armed forces. In November, he garnered headlines after telling The Economist that the war, following Russia's full-scale invasion, had reached a stalemate, a suggestion that was quickly slapped down by President Zelensky. The country's security services say the object, which they're referring to publicly as a technical device, wasn't found directly in General Zaluzhny's office, but in a premises that could have been used by him for work in future. They added that according to initial findings, the device was
Sunset. That is a nice sunset. Or, what's some time lapse? Trouble is, okay, so the trouble is, this one, we need tomatoes. Wow, that sunset looks spectacular. Take some more pictures of it.